Hello everyone, welcome to Rockstar Gaming. My name is Eric. Today we're going to be taking a look at the second dev diary for DCeased, a Zombicide Game, CMON's newest board game set in a fictionalized superhero world. We're going to take a look at that second dev diary, see what information we can get from it, again, overthink everything from it, see where we're at as far as things that we can say are confirmed or not for the game, and some other information as well. So let's go ahead and shift on over and see what we got. And before we get too far into the dev diary, first I want to take a second and look at the other news article that CMON posted today about their presence at Essen. I am not going to be going to Essen because I can't get to Germany. But if you are going to be going or you're already there, they are going to have some information, or not information, they're going to have a presence at the show where you can be able to play the Metal Gear Solid board game, Marvel Zombies Heroes Resistance, Monolith, and Stranger Things Upside Down right there. The thing that's more in line with what we're going to be talking about today is they are going to give away promos at the show right here. You're going to be able to get that special Batman ID card, which I'm assuming is the one that they did at the CMON Expo, the one that's been floating around for DCeased. And they're also going to be giving away, because it's relevant to the channel, the two Marvel United decks from Mr. Sinister and Deadpool. Drop by each day starting at 11 a.m. to pick up the Batman ID card, and starting at 3 p.m. to pick up the Marvel United promo deck. Keep in mind, there will be a limited quantity, so we'll be distributing them while stock lasts, and each person can only pick up one of each promo. And I think that's it as far as what we're going to be talking about today. They are going to do some stuff with trying out Marvel Zombies itself, which it still isn't here. But Essen starts on the 5th, so if you're going to the show, take a look at that. And with all the promotional stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at Dev Diary number 2, Those Who Have Fallen. Before we get into it further, though, I do want to say that this is going to contain spoilers. This video, me talking, is going to contain some spoilers for the DCeased storyline through all the different miniseries that they did. I read through all of it except for the last issue of War of the Undead Gods, mainly because of the fact that it's behind a paywall on the DC Infinite app right now. I think you need to get Ultimate, whatever that is, in order to read that last issue, just because it came out less than 6 months ago. I'm hoping later on this month of October that it does unlock so I can finish the story. Because I really don't want to pay for that just to do my wishlist video, which is something else I'm going to be hopefully doing here soon, probably the next couple weeks. Hopefully before the game's launch date is announced. I'll definitely have it out before the game launches on Kickstarter, but I want to do a wishlist video talking about expansions I want to see, or hope to see, characters, obscure characters that I would like to see from the series. Maybe even guess at what characters I do not think will be in the series. Very similar to a video that Jake and I did when the channel started back in January, that we did for Marvel United Multiverse. So be on the lookout for that. Let's get into the diary right here and go ahead and start down here. While many are familiar with the standard zombies seen in Zombicide, one of the features that sets DCeased apart from others is the use of zombie heroes, much like Marvel Zombies. In DCeased, few are immune to the effects of the anti-life virus, and some of humanity's strongest defenders now seek only to cause as much death and destruction as possible. Today, let's take a look at some of the threats you'll encounter while trying to save what is left of Metropolis. First thing right here, two things in this one sentence. One, we're talking about saving Metropolis. That's interesting because, again, we're comparing it to Marvel Zombies because we can compare it to other Zombicides all we want. Marvel Zombies and DCeased are both superhero games set in a post-apocalyptic zombie world. So we're basically having to almost have to compare the two together, because from the Batman card, the promo Batman card that we already saw, that's already been out, we know that mechanically they look a lot alike. The two games look a lot alike. So comparing those two is it's just a foregone conclusion that's going to happen. So anyway, so one, we are going with threats you will encounter while trying to save Metropolis. So this basically to me indicates that whereas in the Marvel Zombies, the core was you play as the zombie heroes and you're fighting against the shield agents and the living heroes to destroy as much as you can and to eat as much as you can. Almost looks like, and this is again pure conjecture, almost looks like in this one we will be primarily playing as the living heroes, and we are trying to stop the zombie virus or stop the spread of the anti-life equation, the anti-life virus in this game. So there's that. Also, we are saving Metropolis. Again, spoilers. In DCeased, I don't remember which issue it is. It's a 3 or 4, whichever one. It's 6-issue series, so it's somewhere in the middle. Captain Atom gets taken over by the anti-life equation and then ends up essentially detonating and taking out, I believe, New York, some other town or city, and more importantly, Metropolis. Metropolis is wasted. The only thing that survived was the Daily Planet because a Green Lantern, I think it's the Black Canary Green Lantern, was able to save the building prior, or put a shield around the building before it exploded, saving everybody in the building. But yeah, Metropolis is pretty much not a major hub city or anything like that throughout the series. So to me, it's interesting that they are using Metropolis as like the main setting of at least the core set. With that said, and they're not going to mention it here probably until right before the game comes out, but if I know nothing, I have no affiliation with CMON whatsoever, if they decide to pull a X-Men Resistance and come out with a second box, a second core, where we do play as the zombie heroes, I feel like in that one, that's where we're going to probably play in Gotham or Central City or some other town. I say Gotham only because, spoilers again, there is the Gotham Garden, which is the sanctuary that Poison Ivy creates during the course of the series. So I'm wondering, and this is more kind of getting into my wish list video kind of things, but I'm wondering if we're going to get a, if that would be the, like a, we play as the zombies and we're kind of trying to get into the Gotham Garden. That I think would be kind of cool, almost like a siege mode, almost kind of like Zombicide White Death, maybe utilizing some of the wall features, not necessarily giving us like walls of undead plants or anything like, or dead plants or living plants. That's what I meant. But it'd be cool if they did something where basically all those modes are us trying to like get into the city and that kind of thing. Anyway, so that's, again, this video is going to be a lot of me guessing based on what's presented in these paragraphs. So, next paragraph, Michael Chanel here, designer of DCeased, Zombicide Game, and one of my favorite parts of creating the experience was implementing the various zombie heroes, crafting their unique powers to create real threats to the players. Again, talking about threats to the players as far as the zombies go. Being Zombicide, we of course still have the full gamut of walkers, brutes, and runners that you will face off against, which are now collectively known as Horde Zombies. For gameplay terms being set largely in Metropolis, we decided to flare up the Horde by making all of them various former members of LexCorp security. While every ordinary citizen can also be infected, we really wanted to flavor everything we could in DCeased. I don't know why I thought that it said DCeased. Right down to your generic zombies. I'm torn on this one because I don't remember LexCorp security being a major focus of the story whatsoever. I know that this is part of that 10% where they're not going to be faithful to the story and try to like flare things up a little bit, which is fine. I kind of actually like in Heroes Resistance, Marvel Zombies Heroes Resistance, even though they're not miniatures and they're just the standees. I actually like the fact that you're fighting more against generic people in the town, rather than everybody having something to do with the superhero community or the supervillain community in this case. I like that aspect of it. Now, Marvel Zombies is weird because I didn't think any of the ordinary humans survived because the superheroes were able to function better as undead beings, whereas in DCeased, everyone is just like, it's just armies of regular people trying to just kill everyone. So Yeah, so that is that part of it. So instead of either generic townspeople miniatures or anything like that, we are apparently, and I would never have guessed LexCorp, but as our zombie minions, they are going to be LexCorp security. So take that we will almost assures that Lex Luthor is going to be in the game somehow. Let's go ahead and move on. We have some artwork of some interesting characters here. We've got confirmation of a zombie Aquaman right here, and confirmation of zombie Hawkman over there. So we'll kind of look at that here soon when I look at who all we have. But yes, we are definitely getting those two characters, and the fact that they're showing them here almost indicates that they're going to be core box characters. Now, Aquaman is not too much into the story. He does have, I like how they have him on what looks like an octopus. I think he shows up at the mascara on the Kraken. That is that. And then Carter Hall over here, Hawkman. He is in, I believe he's in Hope at World's End, which is the 15-part digital only series that kind of expanded on more of the first miniseries. He gets turned. Uh, he gets punked. Is what he gets when he turns, but he is part of that miniseries more than anything. So I'm hoping that they do something. Well, like I said, I'll get into it in my wish list video. But I'm hoping he is an indicator that Black Adam will be in the game. Hopefully not in the core. Assuming it's going to be an expansion. We'll kind of talk about that at a later time. But this is just the dev diary. Back over here. Speaking of zombies, that technically isn't the most common term being used here, as while very zombie-like in their mannerisms, in DCeased, the cause of the chaos is actually the anti-life virus, which drives all those infected into a rage state, only semi-aware of anything around them, but entirely focused on causing as much death as possible. That means that while still capable of utilizing their existing powers, their higher functions of thought are mostly gone in those who have been infected. As far as the game is concerned, though, we are still using the term zombie to describe them. This is Zombicide. After all, this is the second time they basically put the same exact paragraph into a dev diary. I think this is dev diary 1 right here. Yeah, right here. It's the exact same. It's almost the exact same paragraph. Their biological process states are just stops every zombie like in the manner, but I feel it's okay. So that is basically the same paragraph in both dev diaries. As mentioned before, and the reason why I kind of think that they're doing this paragraph right here is to they're either doing one of two things. They're either assuring everyone that there's not going to be a version of the game where we play as the undead or the anti-living, or they're trying to throw us off from the fact that they are probably going to do two cores, very similar to how we have Marvel Zombies, and then we're going to have Marvel Zombies X-Men Resistance. They're probably doing two cores where we're going to have DCeased, and then we're going to have DCeased something else. I have no idea. No Hope at World's End. I don't know. Dead Planet, maybe. I don't know. But they're gonna do something to where we can play as the undead in that, or the anti-living. I don't know why I say. I know I say undead because it's zombies. But anyway, so that is that right there. That's what I'm thinking. That maybe might just be a smoke and mirrors thing. They're just trying to throw everything off. But we'll see soon enough. Let's see over here. Next paragraph, as mentioned before, during the game, superheroes will have to contend with the various zombie hordes, but the real threat comes in the form of zombie heroes, superheroes, I think is what I said here. Each of these deadly adversaries is unique, changing how the players approach the mission at hand. Aquaman, for example, aside from being a durable foe, also utilizes his control over the waves and water to pull superheroes and bystanders toward him and the horde surrounding him. First off, I know it's obvious from the previous dev diary when they're talking about Bibbo and they're talking about Dan Turb and all that stuff, but this is the first mention that we are actually getting bystanders in the game, so they will be a figure on the board. So again, very similar to Marvel Zombies, we're going to have bystanders once again. Meanwhile, the undead Green Lantern creates a powerful barrier around his zone, forcing superheroes to get up close and personal to take him down. So you can see no artwork here for Green Lantern. I'm assuming, because I'm going to keep saying the word spoiler before every sentence, it seems like. In the main story, I think only Hal Jordan, as far as the main four Lanterns of Earth, Hal, Guy, John, and Kyle. Hal's the only one that actually turns into a zombie during the entirety of the book. I don't remember what happened to Guy Gardner. I know John and Kyle, I think, end up getting killed in different ways. Guy Gardner, I don't know if he survived or not, but Hal Jordan's the only one that actually turned into a zombie. See, a lot of spoilers for the storyline. So he's the only one that turned into a zombie during the course of the game, or during the course of the show. Not even a show. During the course of the comic. There we go. Over the course of the comic. So I'm assuming at the moment, because that he is going to be the main Green Lantern on the zombie side. So there's that. And then over here, of course, some zombie heroes are more direct, such as Hawkman, who will attempt to swoop in and push unsuspecting targets right into the horde. So I don't know if he's going to have some like fast travel, take you with him kind of a thing, or what he's going to have. But players must also mind these threats while pursuing their mission goals, lest they find themselves quickly overrun. Oh, and you best have a good plan and the right tools for dealing with the infected Man of Steel. Yes, that's right, Superman himself has fallen to the antivirus. How exactly do you take down one of the strongest beings in the universe? Well, good luck. So this makes me wonder. It says the right tools. So it's this is either alluding to the fact that Superman, like characters like Superman, like you're just like your great tool is just your player card and whatnot. But we also know from the previous dev diary that there's going to be equipment in the game. They mentioned a bunch of LexCorp stuff, but I'll go back to dev diary 1. On the Superman figure, you do see this sword right down here. I think you can see my mouse, but you see the sword right down there. That is, I don't remember the name of the sword, but it is a sword that Wonder Woman had that was a magical sword that has kryptonite in it. So then it makes me wonder, depending on the zombies you use, are there going to be certain tool cards or equipment cards in the deck that help you with fighting the different characters? Are there going to be scenarios specifically for like Superman and that kind of stuff that you play that maybe when you do X, Y, and Z in the game, you get a special item? Or are they going to do maybe like in Undead or Alive, where you've got, or another other Zombicides, but Undead or Alive is the one I've played, where you have like your regular equipment you draw, but then you have like equivalent to like the bounty weapons that you have to get. We'll see how that works out. But yeah, that is Dev Diary 1. So let's kind of look also at what else we have announced so far. So between this, the only other thing that they have put out is over here on their Facebook page. We are definitely getting a living Wonder Woman. There is the render of her living model, which again is the same color scheme as Marvel Zombies. And then down further, we have the render of the Superman model without his arm there. Again, using the same colors as Marvel Zombies. Not saying anything's crossing over, but I'm just saying, just saying. Things look right on the board. Just gonna point that out. So between that and this dev diary, I'm gonna go over here to my little spreadsheet that I am already making. I know I'm a nerd. I'm sorry. But these are what we have so far as far as confirmed. So we've got Superman, Aquaman, Hawkman, Green Lantern, assuming Hal Jordan, that we are all assuming are going to be undead or confirmed as undead. And I'm assuming going to core box. And we've got Batman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, that I'm assuming also going to be in the core box. I'm assuming Cyborg. We haven't had no word on Cyborg yet. I'm assuming the next dev diary, which may or may not be in a week or two. Who knows? The last two have been about a week and a half off from each other, from the first one to the second one. But all we have is that artwork for Cyborg showing him as living, and he was never a zombie in the comics. I don't think they're going to make him a zombie version in the game, so we're assuming he is in there. So yeah, so far we've got those characters there, and as far as bystanders, we've definitely got Bibbo, Dan Turman, and Mercy Graves. So that brings us to, my math is right, 10 characters so far announced for, or confirmed in some way for DCeased. So yeah, that is, and yes, I do see where it says DCeased Marvel Zombies. There's more tabs down here. You guys don't need to see those. But yeah, so that is going to be everything that we have right now for the game that we know of. So with that said, let me know what you guys are excited about. Start letting me know, if you can, in the comments what what your predictions are for what you think is going to be out. I'm kind of starting to put together my thoughts for my wish list video that I'm going to do hopefully in another week or two. But I'm kind of interested in what you guys think as far as what kind of expansions you think we're going to have, what kind of characters you think will be in the game, what kind of characters do you think will not be in the game at all. I can think of a couple from even from the event itself that may or may not turn up. What do you think? Because everyone's gonna keep talking about it until it's announced. What do you think the big giant figure is? From reading the whole story at this point, I can think of like three off the top of my head that I could see as being. I can see making the scale of the Galactus type figure. I can't see the popularity though of putting it out and people wanting to buy it because of um, some of them. You have to be really diehard fans of that character in order to justify getting it. So leave your comments below. We'll take a look at them and kind of go from there. But that is everything in Dev Diary 2, as well as taking a look at stuff from going back and looking at Dev Diary 1 again, looking at the Facebook announcements, and showing my nerdy, my very nerdy spreadsheet that I'm working on for this. So just helps me with keeping track when I do these videos and keeping track of who we have, who we don't have, all that kind of thing. So if you guys again like the video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the notification bell to know when I'm going to be putting out more of these videos. If you are enjoying these videos and you are wanting to tune in for the inevitable DCeased 2 or 3 time a week recap videos from the Kickstarter, just go ahead and hit that notification bell and make sure you subscribe to the channel. And with that said, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.